Smashbox Cosmetics, we know that beauty comes in all shapes, colors, and sizes. One of the most distinctive characteristics on every person is their eyes. When we create an eye look at Smashbox Studios, it's all about enhancing their best attributes and making them come to life on camera. In this video, we're going to guide you through how to create looks on eye shapes that at many times may be more challenging to enhance.
At Smashbox Cosmetics, we're all about giving options of how to create different looks. That's why we created our line of Cover Shots palettes. Each palette has 8 high-performance eyeshadows that stay on all day without creasing, smudging, or balling. They also have 2 larger base shades so you never run out, and a one-swipe formula that glides on easily.
Now these palettes are ideal for all clients because they're packed full of pigment and work on any skin tone.
Today I have a gorgeous model with more of a mature eye. My main focus is going to be opening up the shape of her eye and evening and brightening the lid, while giving emphasis to the lash line. I'm going to start by neutralizing the skin on the lid, which is important because as we age, the skin can become discolored. I'm using the Photo Finish Lid Primer. It neutralizes the skin tone while it intensifies the color of the shadow. The lid primer will lock the shadow in place for all-day wear with no creasing. One of the many reasons to use Photo Finish Lid Primer on mature clients is that it contains Hydrating Phytomoist Complex, which is a plant-based hyaluronic acid for skin smoothing benefits. I'm going to roll a small amount on the palm of my hand to keep it warm, and then apply it to the lid using my ring finger, from lash to brow. I use my ring finger because it's the weakest finger and will not tug at the sensitive skin on the eye. Now that we have prepped the eye, I will be using Dope and Hero from our Golden Hour palette as a base. Golden Hour is a great combination of tones for a mature client because the shade selection is soft and warm. When working on this type of eye, you don't want to go too dark or too bright with your color choices since these tones can look harsh and oftentimes aging. I'm laying the shadow from lash to brow, creating a smoothing effect. Press the pigment in place for an even saturation, then flip the brush upside down to make sure you get the product right against the lash line, so there is no gap in brightness. Next, I'm going to be laying down a shimmer on the lid. Often clients say that shimmer is not good for aging eyes, which is not true when they are properly prepped. Because we have a smoothing primer and a matte base, the shimmer will not emphasize texture. We are going to be using lights and hotline on the lid to pull it forward, making it the focus of the look. This is especially important with deep set or hooded eyes. I'm going to pack it from lash to crease. Lastly, I'm going into the crease with a contour shade and a blending brush. Be careful with the sculpting tone because often a mature client already has natural contour to their eyes. Look into the mirror with your client to see where their natural shadow is and how much additional shadow you need to create. Often it's about diffusing the natural shadow into the highlight for an even transition, rather than adding in depth into the crease. If I was to place a heavy, dark pigment on a naturally contoured eye, it would appear hollow and sunken. So this is a scenario where less is definitely more. Be sure to use small circular strokes, blending the pigment right where you want it. I'm going to complete the look with an Always Sharp waterproof kohl liner, which is waterproof, long-wearing, and non-flaking. Because the lashes tend to thin as we age, I'm going to create a tight line effect, making sure to work the liner in between the lashes. Color choice is key, so stay away from black or espresso tones because they can often be unforgiving and stark. You can get beautiful definition from a gray, bronze, muted purple, or even a navy. Today I'm going to be using French Navy to brighten the whites of the eye. I am very lightly pulling at the outer edge of the eye with the client looking down at the floor to make sure the skin is taut, so the liner applies smoothly without bumps that can easily happen with a mature skin. The liner should complement the eye shape and not close down the lid, which we just enhanced. Finish with 2 coats of Indecent Exposure, which is a lifting mascara.
My model Sonia doesn't have a large lid space, but that doesn't mean that she can't rock stunning shadow and a kick-ass liner. Because there's no visible crease, her eye shape is a monolid. To begin, I'm going to prep her lid and tightly against her lower lash line with Photo Finish Lid Primer in medium. I'm using my fingertip on the lid to smooth product into the skin, and then with a small amount loaded onto the smudge brush, I am buffing it under the lashes 3/4 of the way inward. This will ensure my shadow and drop shadow will apply evenly and wear all day. Now Cover Shots palettes play nicely together so you can always layer more than one. I'm gonna lay booty call from the lash line to well above the natural round of the eye so you can see the shadow tone when the eyes are open. Now make sure to have your clients with monolids open their eyes and look into the mirror throughout the application, because oftentimes the shape of the eyes change when the eyes are open. Next, I'm gonna apply Assistant under the brow bone. A matte highlight is flash friendly, and at Smashbox Cosmetics, we are always camera ready. Then using Work It, I'll blend the two colors together to create an even transition across the entire lid. Now remember, don't always focus on the outer portion of the eye. I'm gonna be buffing the same matte tone as a drop shadow under the eyes. This will reduce the appearance of puffiness and create a smoldering effect. Now I will define the eyes by lining the Always On gel liner. These are perfect for any client because they are 24-hour wear and waterproof. They have a pigment-rich formula which glides on easily. Now to define the lash line, begin at the outer edge of the lash line and work your way inward. This eye shape looks gorgeous with wing liner, so I'm going to look at the lower lash line and use it as my guide to create a wing that has the same angle. Using this technique will help to create symmetry and balance, since eyes tend to have the same structure side to side. Be sure to ask your clients how dramatic they want their wing. Is it a kitten flick or a full 60s glitz wing? Once you've created the wing's angle and length, connect the wing back into the liner on the lash line. Now it's time to check your work. Have the client look into the mirror to see if any additional liner is needed. So sometimes a client needs a little smolder in life. I'm going to soften the liner by smudging it out with a deep matte shadow. Finish the look with 2 coats of full exposure mascara for more volume. The big tapered brush grabs lashes at the root for ultra coverage. Glossy fibers sculpt lashes up and out. No clumping, smudging, or flaking. Now remember, there are no rules to makeup, but there are great ways to enhance a face, and that's what we're really all about. Thank you, Sephora.